You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get a rant by becoming one of those. This one is from Verdestrom, who says to rant about Yandere in a similar manner to your Tsundere video. What are your thoughts on it in general? Does it have a notable narrative purpose? Has it too fallen to being a trope, retained its meaning, or never had one in the first place? I'm going to lean towards the latter. Like, when it came to Tsundere, I think it was more originally an observation on a trend. It was like, this is a type of character arc that logically makes sense to arise. You know, that somebody is cold towards you, but you do nice things for them, and eventually they develop feelings for you. Like, that is a very sensible arc, that it's not a surprise for it to come up. You know, it's existed long before there was a word for it. And it was just kind of given a word as an observation. When it comes to Yandere, it's girls who are just psycho murderers who are in love with you. I think at that point it was already a meme. Like, it was a meme from minute one. Tsundere quickly became a meme, and then it, perpetuated itself because people were trying to create a Tsundere character instead of just using that word descriptively, to describe characters that just happen to be that. But with Yandere, like, as soon as that word is coined, immediately that's the point. Like, if there's a Yandere character in anything, it's because they wanted to make a Yandere character. Because it's not a natural arc. There's no obvious, like, oh, this is a way that real people act, or like this is a believable storytelling style. It's just like pure aesthetic, purely an aesthetic persona kind of thing. Like, I think it's cute when girls are murderers, so let's make some cute murderer girls who are in love with you. And then, of course, this is splintered into, like, people who need to categorize everything, who are like, oh, well, there's Yandere and Yangire and Yan whatever, and, like, people have made up, like, 18 different whatever deres at this point, and I hate all of it. I wish it would stop. I don't like the terms. Like, Tsundere is interesting to talk about just because there was an evolution in the term, that it went from describing something to being a cliche. All of the other ones are just cliches. They are just, like, a map that someone uses to create a character based on the idea of creating a character in this aesthetic. So I think that most of the dere terms are totally useless. If anything, the fact that we have codified them is the reason that they have gotten so overplayed. But granted, at the same time, if you're somebody who likes that specific style, you are probably glad that it got codified, because, like, obviously, after the term Yandere was invented, was probably the birth of a million new Yandere characters, because people looked at it as something that exists to create. So, personally, I don't, like, Yandere is, like, it's really cheesy to me. Like, I don't feel anything in particular towards it. I can't think of any shows I particularly love that have Yandere characters, unless you count Higurashi, but, like, that show is more of a... It's interesting because it's a cool murder mystery, and the characters are just good, regardless of the Yandere element of it. So, yeah, that's all the thoughts I really have. I got a shit.